Wow, it's been quite an exciting week for crypto as we rapidly approach previous all-time highs. Pretty soon we are all going to be in the green, or will we? If we do reach new all-time highs, can it last? And for how long? Hello, I'm Crypto Casey and welcome to another episode of Last Week Crypto. Every Sunday, we review the performance of the largest cryptocurrencies, top gainers, as well as the latest global news stories affecting the crypto markets this past week. This week, we will discuss what caused this week's breakout, its sustainability, the implications of the approval of Bitcoin futures ETFs, who's jumping into crypto, and who's jumping out. This week's episode is brought to you by Crypto.com, an exchange with over 100 different cryptocurrencies and over 20 different fiat currencies. On Crypto.com's mobile app, you can buy crypto with bank transfers, credit, debit cards, or crypto at true cost with no markups. They also have a desktop exchange that is solely for crypto-to-crypto trading. If you use the link below to sign up for Crypto.com, you'll receive $25 worth of cryptocurrency for free when you use the referral code CryptoCasey, all while supporting the channel. Also, every Wednesday I conduct a weekly AMA or Ask Me Anything at Instagram.com/CryptoCasey. So use the link to my one and only official Instagram account listed in the description area to follow me and ask me anything you want every Wednesday. I've set up a Discord community where we can chat daily about all things crypto together, so scroll down to click on the invite link below to join us. Awesome. Let's go. Last week crypto. Looking at the top cryptocurrencies by market cap, Bitcoin up 12.2%, ETH up 8.8%, Binance Coin flipped Cardano up 11.8%, and Cardano, despite the run, down 1.6%. Looking at the top gainers this week, Stacks up 35.8%, Polkadot finally making some moves, up 26.9%, Spell Token up 22.5%, and Telcoin up 21.4%. Let's kick things off with a healthy dose of Tether FUD. CFTC fines stablecoin issuer Tether and crypto exchange Bitfinex $42.5 million. On Friday, October 15, 2021, the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, announced that it had ordered the company Tether Holdings Limited and iFinex Inc., the parent company of Bitfinex, to pay fines totaling to $42.5 million. The CFTC accuses Tether of making untrue or misleading statements and omissions of material fact in connection with the US dollar Tether token USDT stablecoin. So what will they do about this slap on the wrist? Well, obviously just print more Tether tokens, maybe buy some Bitcoin with it, sell it for fiat cash, and pay the fine. I'm not thinking this will be too much of a problem for Tether to overcome. Their resilience record is nothing short of impressive at this point. Not many other bearish news stories this week, as crypto breaks $2.5 trillion as bulls predict a ludicrously strong Bitcoin and Ethereum price rally. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency prices have surged this week as expectations the US regulator will greenlight a Bitcoin futures exchange traded fund, ETF, have soared. Keyword being expectations that the SEC will greenlight a Bitcoin futures ETF. SEC set to allow Bitcoin futures ETFs as deadline looms. So the cutoff for the SEC to take action on two companies, ProShares and Invesco, that filed proposals for Bitcoin futures contracts is next week. Check it out. The regulator isn't likely to block the products from starting to trade next week, said the people, who asked not to be named while discussing the decision. Unlike Bitcoin ETF applications that the regulator has previously rejected, the proposals by ProShares and Invesco Limited are based on futures contracts and were filed under mutual fund rules that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler has said provide significant investor protections. A spokesperson for the SEC declined to comment, as did an official at ProShares. Barring a last-minute reversal, the fund launch will be the culmination of a nearly decade-long campaign by the $6.7 trillion ETF industry. Advocates have sought approval as a confirmation of mainstream acceptance of cryptocurrencies since Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, the twins best known for their part in the history of Facebook Inc., filed the first application for a Bitcoin ETF in 2013. Cool. So two other companies called VanEck and Valkyrie have also submitted applications for futures-based Bitcoin ETFs with deadlines later this month. Meaning it's possible that we see not two, not three, but four Bitcoin futures ETFs launching this month alone, provided the SEC does in fact approve them. A last-minute reversal would definitely cause a dip, so as usual, be careful out there. So what is an ETF? ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, and it's just a fancy financial term that describes a fund that is traded on an exchange, just like a regular stock, hence Exchange Traded Fund. So this fund that is traded on an exchange consists of an assortment of stocks. So people that choose to buy shares of this fund basically are putting their money in the fund to get price exposure to multiple stocks without having to buy them individually. So ETFs tend to decrease transaction costs for investors and decrease volatility for investors. As when buying stocks individually, each one has its own price movement, and each stock you decide to invest in comes with transaction fees. Cool. So what are futures ETFs? A futures ETF is just a fancy financial term that describes an investment people can make by agreeing to buy or sell shares of the fund at a specific price on or before a specific date. Unlike options ETFs, where people can choose to buy or sell shares of a fund on or before a specific date, with futures ETFs, people absolutely have to buy or sell the shares of the fund on or before a specific date. Putting it all together, what is a Bitcoin futures ETF? Basically, it's a fund full of Bitcoin that is traded on an exchange where people can make agreements to buy or sell shares of the fund for a specific price on or before a specific date. And when investors make the agreement to buy or sell shares of the fund at this specific price in the future, they absolutely have to execute the buy or sell. There is no option otherwise. Essentially, Bitcoin futures ETFs will allow institutional and retail investors to legally gamble by placing a speculative bet on the future price of Bitcoin with less capital upfront. For example, let's say I want to make a bet that the price of Bitcoin will be 100K by October 31st. So in this Bitcoin futures ETF market, I make an agreement, an absolute promise that I can't back out on, that I will buy shares of this Bitcoin fund by October 31st for $50,000, no matter what. So in my head, I'm thinking, hell yeah, giddy up. I'm about to get me some Bitcoin, or rather price exposure to Bitcoin, at half price on Halloween night. Because if my bet was right and the price of Bitcoin goes to 100K on Halloween, then I get to buy the fund shares for $50,000, basically doubling my money. Amazing, right? Well, if my bet was wrong and Bitcoin starts tanking, goes below 50K, down to 40K, and just keeps tumbling down as October 31st approaches, if the price per Bitcoin turns out to be 25K on that day, I have to buy the Bitcoin fund shares for 50K and suffer a 50% loss. Spooky stuff, right? So do you think this would create more or less volatility in Bitcoin's price movements in the future? Consider how big institutions currently manipulate the market to their will when Bitcoin options expire at the end of every month. And then consider how this ETF would allow even more institutional investors a legal way to get price exposure to Bitcoin, and what they would do as their futures contracts come closer to expiring. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Either way, regardless of whether the Bitcoin futures ETF is approved or not approved, make sure you are transferring your crypto you're planning to hold for the long term off of exchanges and onto a cold storage hardware wallet. You can scroll down to the description area below to access the correct and official sites of my recommended hardware wallets. BC Vault is my personal favorite. Another option is the Ledger Nano Backup Pack, so scroll down to check them out. Or if you would rather make income from your idle digital assets you're planning to hold for the long term, you can safely earn interest with services provided by BlockFi. With a BlockFi interest account, your cryptocurrency can earn up to 8.6% APY. Interest accrues daily and is paid monthly. There are no hidden fees and no minimum balances. So if you're interested in learning more about BlockFi, you can get up to a $250 Bitcoin bonus when you use the link in the description area to sign up, all while supporting the channel. Protecting your ability to generate income so you can buy more crypto is another important thing to consider. So if you'd like to learn more about the advanced technical concepts of blockchain and become a developer in the space, check out Ivan on Tech's Academy. If you use the link below, you can access the Academy at a discounted price, so scroll down and check it out. Sweet. So if you can believe it or not, there is a pretty big gaming player that is canceling crypto. Steam is removing NFT games from the platform. Valve removes blockchain games, tells users not to publish content on crypto or NFTs. Steam's point of view is that items have value, and they don't allow items that can have real-world value on their platform, claimed one game developer. Wow, quite a statement. A business saying they don't want items with real-world value on their platform instead of trying to monetize it? Strange. Maybe they're trying to avoid potential backlash from a regulatory clamp though. Either way, Steam is banning NFTs, aka Steam banned itself from NFTs. Don't be like Steam. Imagine banning yourself from the internet in the 90s. Bad move. Nice, well guess who is not banning NFTs? Coinbase joins the NFT craze, plans to launch its own marketplace. Coinbase becomes the next digital asset exchange to launch its own non-fungible token marketplace. We're making NFTs more accessible by building user-friendly interfaces that put the complexity behind the scenes. We're adding social features that open new avenues for conversation and discovery. And we're going to grow the creator community exponentially, a win for artists and for fans. Cool. So are people interested? Well, Coinbase's NFT waitlist tops 1 million signups on the first day. Bullish. And if you haven't yet, you can get $10 worth of Bitcoin for free when you use the link below to sign up for Coinbase when you invest $100 or more in crypto. Our final bullish NFT news story for this week: Decentraland books deadmau5, Paris Hilton, and more for Metaverse Music Festival. The 4-day Metaverse Festival starts October 21st. Pack your virtual festival attire. Decentraland is hosting a first-of-its-kind music festival featuring more than 80 real-world artists. Big names such as Paris Hilton, deadmau5, Alabaster de Plume, and Blau are involved. The 4-day Metaverse Festival also includes VIP areas, a merchandise store for non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and oddly, portable toilets. The festival starts October 21st. Amazing. So if you still don't understand the massive wealth opportunities at our fingertips with NFTs, I'm working on a 3-part video series for beginners, breaking it down step by step. So stay tuned. Awesome. Well, that was Last Week Crypto with me, Crypto Casey. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more crypto content. So what do you think about the Bitcoin futures ETF situation? Will it get approved, or is Gensler going to fake us out? Are you attending the Metaverse Festival in Decentraland? Let me know in the comments below. Be safe out there.